Release weekend has come and gone, and what happened? Some cards went up, some cards went down, dude, and guess what? My entire script for this episode got eaten by a computer crash, so we're gonna wing it. Now, back in the olden days, before humans figured out textiles and construction materials, primitive man would come across a mammoth carcass or something like that and say, hey, I know it's a big dead elephant, but let's use what we can out of this thing, right? You make a bone sword for your wife, you take the tusk, you make a hat or whatever. That's kind of how I feel about Commander Masters. It's a big dead animal. I'm gonna see if I can get a thigh bone or something. Yeah, listen man, we had some fantastic deals this weekend. I snagged Perseus out of the forge for under $8 shipped to my house. This has been a $25 card forever. The last reprint pushed it way down. This has rebounded after the weekend to about $13 or so. Pretty dramatic bounce. We're seeing this pattern with several of the high demand cards, several mythics, and we're also seeing some cards just tank. So let's chat about some of them and see where they landed after release weekend. But first, listen, you gotta slap that like button, dude. Just slap it right up, scrap it right up with the old subscribe button, and we're gonna take off, dude. If you like this channel, you gotta subscribe, brother. I'm pouring over the internet like a dang Gandalf wizard researching ancient jewelry, dude. I'm finding you the kind folks that steals and deals out there. Now, there's absolutely no doubt that Perseus is a powerhouse card in a ton of decks. This guy is a real monster. We're seeing a similar pattern with cards like Smothering Tithe. I'm not as high as some people are on this card. I think it's really good. Don't get me wrong, don't come for me in the comments, dude, but I'm not gaga over it. I'm not putting it in every white deck I got. Anyways, that card dipped down to $14 and has rebounded nicely up to $18 currently. Now contrast this with Sun Quan, Lord of the Wu-Tang Clan, dude. 4/4 for 4 blue, a legendary creature, human soldier. Creatures you control have horsemanship, that's it. They can't be blocked except by creatures with horsemanship. Basically, this gives your creatures unblockable, and he's been unimaginably expensive forever due to the fact that he only had 2 printings, from the Vault Relic printing and a printing way back in Portal 3 Kingdoms, which was way back in 1846. Well, it's a decent card, dude, but it's 6 mana. This has just been falling like a rock and is currently about $13. Alright, let's look at Selvala, Heart of the Wilds. 1 green for a legendary creature, Elf Scout, it's a 2/3. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield, any part of the battlefield, even your opponent's side of the battlefield, brother, its controller may draw a card if its power is greater than each other creature's power. So you want to slap this in your big power creature decks, dude. Also has green and tap, add X mana in any combination of colors where X is the greatest power among creatures you control. This is a real banger, dude. A diesel engine in a big mana deck or any big stomper deck. This thing has been kind of all over the place in terms of price, had a jumpstart reprint, although I've never seen it below $10. And prior to tanking to $5 over the weekend, it's currently about $9. Song of the Dryads, very unique enchantment removal that can be absolutely oppressive, dude. I've had my commander trapped under this before and it totally neutered my deck. It was a Phoenix deck too, so the deck basically did nothing. If you're running enchantment synergies, this is great for $3, dude. This one doesn't seem to have rebounded. It's not a super sexy card, it's kind of a vegetable card you want to stick in your deck, but it's really good removal for 3 mana. And it was $10 to $15 for a long time. Twilight Prophet, take a read of this old bad boy. This is another card that's been $10 for a while. Bottomed out this weekend under $4 and popped right back up to $7 as of right now. Not a bad card. Certainly has a home in a variety of commander decks, including those that want to deal damage off the top of the library, like old Abaddon the Despoiler, and your vampire decks, brother. Alright man, listen, don't sleep on this card. The Hammer of Nissan is 4 generic mana for legendary artifact equipment. When this or another equipment enters the battlefield under your control, you may attach that equipment to target creature you control. Equipped creature gets +2/+0 and has indestructible. It's 4 generic mana to equip. This is one of the best equipment enablers in the game for your commander decks, and it's historically low right now. I've been seeing it for $3 and change. It's about $5 right now. This is way lower than I'm used to seeing it for. Kind of hovers around $10 after some reprints, but I've seen it as high as $25. Personal Tutor is dropping like a sad housefly at the sad housefly house party, brother. While I don't think that this is complete garbage, the $8 it's selling for is still a bit steep, especially as how Mystical Tutor is currently $5. That's an instant and it can go grab instants as well. Go get that instead. But listen man, Personal Tutor, if you really need a tutor like this, is a decent redundant effect. Mangara the Diplomat, this guy's just a social worker out there, dude. He's negotiating, he's mediating between East and West. He's a rare in this set and he's bulk price right now. If you ever wanted one, snag one up. Your cost is so low at this point it doesn't even matter, dude. He rebounded about 50 cents from $1.50 to $2. I don't know, man. This guy's making waves in Washington, D.C. You might want to check him out. Listen, man, honestly, Mangara is better than either of the candidates we have for president right now, dude, with the way this field stands. Anyways, Arachnogenesis, 2 and a green for an instant. Create X 1/2 green spider creature tokens with reach, where X is the number of creatures attacking you. Prevent all combat damage that would be dealt this turn by non-spider creatures. This is a very beautiful card, dude. It has had a tremendous spike from the Lord of the Rings, crashed to about $10. This is a really unique fog effect that puts a bunch of bodies on the battlefield. Really cool card. Hopefully it drops in 6 months or something, because I ain't paying $10 for this, but it's a good card. All you gotta know about the Scarab God is that he's got a big bug on his head, he's got skeleton arms, and I'm always shocked when he gets reprinted. This thing goes for like $40, right? It gets reprinted and totally tanks. This has gotten as low as $7.50 over the weekend and is having a modest recovery to about $8 and change currently. This guy, he's got a bug right on his dome, dude. He's just a silly card in a zombie deck or helming a zombie deck. Heliod Sun Crown, dude. I would vote for this guy. Make Theros great again, brother. This guy's a real combo engine and a real bad dude, man. He's worse than Corn Pop, and he's a bad dude, man. This guy's down to $8. Could be the bottom for now, I don't know, who knows. But that's down quite a bit from the $20 he was up until recently. Now listen, man, do you have an equipment deck, or are you gonna make an equipment deck? Then you gotta get the Steel Shaper's Gift while it's cheap, dude. This is the most efficient equipment tutor around. Came down from $15 to $20, it had been going on for a while, to around $3 to $4 over the weekend, and it's popping right back up now in an aggressive rebound to $5 or so. Incredible card for your equipment deck, or listen, are you running Skull Clamp and you always want another copy of Skull Clamp, and this is it? You always do. And listen, while we're on the subject of equipment stuff, I'll plug my buddy, the Pure Steel Paladin. It's white for a creature, human knight, it's a 2/2. Whenever an equipment enters the battlefield under your control, you may draw a card. Also has Metalcraft. Equipment you control have equipped 0 as long as you control 3 or more artifacts. This is $1.50 right now, dude. That's redonkulous. Take your lottery money your mother gave you to go to the corner store and buy lottery tickets. Go buy one of these and then get an ice cream cone for yourself after, brother. Spark Double. I'm a big stand for this card, dude. It's unique amongst clone creatures in that it creates a non-legendary copy, and that's gold if your deck is built around your commander's effect. I always seem to want this card, but it's been as high as $10. Seems to be dropping even after release weekend and is around $5 or so right now. When I see this thing drop, dude, listen, I perk up because pretty much every blue deck I build wants this effect. And listen, man, this is a little guilty pleasure favorite card of mine, little pet card, Fairy Artisans. 3 and a blue for a creature, it's a Fairy Artificer, it's a 2/2 with flying. Whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield under an opponent's control, create a token that's a copy of that creature, except it's an artifact in addition to its other types. Then exile all other tokens created with Fairy Artisans. Very cool card, very stuff you can do is with this, gotta get creative, dude. Scales up to the table, generates value no matter what your opponents are doing. It's even better if you're making weird tokens like in Brutaclad, or if you're running a sacrifice outlet. I just think this is a cool little clutch of fairies, brother, and its bulk price at 85 cents. Alright, let's take a look at some undersung uncommons. We got Exsanguinate out here. This was a $5 uncommon up until a few months ago, and is a fantastic big mana or infinite mana payoff. And now it's $1 or so, dude, but seems to be rising. This is a nice card, my friends. Then you have the old Storm Kiln Artist. Seems pretty ubiquitous in Spellslinger decks these days and gets a needed reprint. It's even got a full art version. This guy's 3 and a red for a creature, Dwarf Shaman, it's a 2/2. Storm Kiln Artist gets +1/+0 for each artifact you control, and he's got Magecraft. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, create a treasure token. I think the full art's a little weird looking, but whatever, dude. He's got a nice headband and he's gonna wear it, and that's it. Look at this art, dude. This is a legit gorgeous piece of art right here. So what is old Nicky G buying from this set? Well, listen, I spent $35 on singles and that's it. And listen, if you're skipping this set or spending $8 on singles or spending $80 on singles or buying 4 boxes with your buddies and high rolling it out there in your Porsche, there is no shame in any of that game. Go nuts. In this particular case, when the boxes are so highly priced, I'm kind of sad I won't be able to draft it with some friends. But when something drops that I would love to slot in a deck, I'm going to check it out. And that's what reprint sets are for, I guess. And I'll return to the set in a few weeks and then again in a few months to see what's what and report back to you fellas. In the meantime, I did snag that Perseus for about $8 shipped. I also got this guy, the old cath. He's going right in my Belacor deck, and I got that for about $7 with tax and shipping included. And you know what? I know it's pronounced Belacor, brother. I did get an Oran frostbang. This does work in creature decks and was about $5, dude. This is a great card. Kindred Dominance is bonkers. In a tribal deck, this is the best board wipe hands down. Plus you got those sweet demons flying down from above to bring the party to earth, brother. I think this was about $7. I also picked up a Grenzo. This guy, I mean listen, let's read it. It's red for a legendary creature, Goblin Rogue. It's a 2/2. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, choose one. Goad target creature that player controls, or exile the top card of that player's library. Until end of turn, you may cast that card, and you may spend mana as though it were mana of any color to cast that spell. This is going for about $1.29 for the full art, which is rad, or listen, 82 cents for the regular version. I think that's an incredible steal for this card. It doesn't go in every deck, believe me, but it is a fantastic card. You have that suite of options whenever a creature deals combat damage to a player, which really mucks up the battlefield and the top of your opponent's libraries, brother. 82 cents for that, and there's a bunch of 35 cent, 40 cent rares in this set as well. Just keep in mind, if you do crack packs, there's going to be tons of rares like this going for 82 cents or whatever. When the packs are $17 or $15, I mean, it's going to feel bad, dude. It's going to feel like a gut punch, brother. Take that $15 and get 15 bulk rares for your decks, or some sweet budget cards from this set, perhaps featured in this very video. As for me, I think my buying is probably done for this set, at least for a few weeks while everything shakes out. When Eldraine releases, the hype tax goes away and maybe you find some more steals and deals. This is Nikki G from Better Commander signing off.